Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials.
Well, Mike, nowadays there's much talk about nanometer. But what on earth is it?
Nanometer is a length scale. It's 1/1000th of a meter, roughly 10 times the size of an individual atom.
It's hard to figure out the exact size, I'm afraid.
Well, let's make it this way. For comparison, 10 nm is 1,000 times smaller than the diameter of a human hair. There are as many nanometers in an inch as there are inches in 400 miles.
I see. Thank you.
What are you listening to? Is that Beethoven or Mozart?
It's Beethoven. Do you like it?
I think Beethoven's music is incredible. I've heard that listening to it can make you more intelligent, too. Do you believe that?
I don't know about that, but I do think that it helps people relax.
What other kind of music do you listen to?
Actually, I mostly just listen classical music. What about you?
To be honest, I think classical music is too complicated for me.
What kind of music do you prefer then?
I like pop music. Do you?
Not really. I don't think pop music has much depth.
I see what you mean. I think that's why I like it so much.
How long have you been into pop music, then?
I've always been into it. Have you always liked classical music?
Not really. When I was little, we didn't really listen to music at all.
So, how did you become interested in it?
Well, when I was about 10 years old, I started playing the piano. I think that's how it all started.
Do you still play piano?
Yes, it's one of my hobbies.
When in Rome, do as the Romans do, they say.
What do the Romans do?
They live in Rome, of course, and go to work by car or bus. But sometimes it takes too long that way because of the traffic jams, so they walk.
In other words, the Romans do what everyone else does.
Yes, but they do it differently. Everything is different.
What do you mean?
Well, the climate's different for a start. It doesn't rain so much as it does in England. The sun shines more often.
I envy them the sun.
I know. You hate the rain, don't you?
I certainly do.
And a Roman really Iov's life. I knows how to enjoy himself.
They always eat spaghetti and drink wine, don't they?
Not always. But they like a good meal. Lots of tourists go to Rome just for the food, you know.
Really? How much does it cost to fly to Rome?
I don't know exactly, but it costs a lot of money. How do you do?
How do you do? Nice to meet you, Ms. Smith. I'm Jack Stevens from the marketing department. Here is my card.
It's nice to meet you, Mr. Stevens.
Please call me Jack. Have a seat, please.
Thank you. It seldom rains this summer.
Yeah, some places are very short of water.
Because of pollution and other things, our environment has become worse and worse.
You see, this time I traveled to the west. When I looked out of the windows of the rain, all the lands that I could see are as dry as a bone.
It is serious. Yesterday was April the 1st.
Was it quite special?
Not for the others, but for me. I was in the library going over my lessons when suddenly one of my roommates came in. He told me that I was wanted on the phone in my dormitory, and that person would call me again several minutes later.
Did you hurry back to the bedroom?
Yes. I went back to the dorm only to find my roommates laughing and shouting, "April Fool, April Fool."
Oh, your classmates took you in.
Only then did I realize it was April Fool's Day. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How about you?
I'm okay. What are you doing these days?
Not a lot, actually. Busy at work, of course. We've got a big project coming up in Malaysia. I may have to go to KL in a few weeks.
That's great. When are you starting?
Probably in a week or two. I'll let you know.
Jill. How do you like your new job?
I like it. But how did you know about my new job? I wanted to surprise you.
I just heard through the grapevine something about you landing a job with some travel agency downtown. You can still fill me in on tile details.
Well, 2 weeks ago I got a tip about a possible job opening at Ace Travel Agency over on Franklin Avenue.
Sure. I think I know the place.
Well, anyway, I made a beeline over to their office, had an interview with the manager, and was told to start work the next day.
That's really great, Jill. So, what do you do there exactly?
Right now I'm basically just a secretary, but if I'm given the chance, I want to become a travel agent there.
Don't tell me you're already bucking for a promotion.
No, of course not. I've got a lot to learn yet. In the meantime, I just want to be a good secretary and not step on anyone's toes.
Well, I wish you luck.
What's up? You look depressed.
I just had a quarrel with him.
Would you rather I taught him a lesson for you?
No, thanks.
He has lots of hobbies.
And he's always busy with his pictures and roses.
He's won a dozen prizes for his pictures and roses.
But as for his business in the city,
He lets his cousins look after his business.
he sounds more like an artist than a businessman.
Wow. Is that your sports car?
Yes, do you like it?
I love it. I used to always want to drive a green Jaguar. Is it in good condition?
YT looks good on the outside, but the inside is a different story. It needs a lot of servicing before it can go out on the roads again.
What's wrong with it?
Well, first of all, it needs a new engine, which is extremely expensive.
When's the last time you had it serviced?
It must have been a few years ago now.
I thought all cars needed regular servicing on a yearly basis.
They do. Once my son was born, there was no reason to drive this car anymore. It's only a two-seater, you know.
What else is wrong with it?
The heating controls don't work anymore, so it always feels like it's about 100 degrees in the car, even in the summer.
Anything else?
The brakes don't really work that well anymore either.
Why don't you get it all fixed?
It costs more than you think to run a car, especially when there are so many things wrong with it.
Well, Let me know when you can get it fixed. I'd love to go for a ride in it. Every year, the South has the floods. It is an act of God.
Do you really think so?
Yeah. You have some other ideas?
I think, in some way it is an act of God, but in another way, it just is caused by us.
For example?
We didn't pay attention to the environment, cut down trees and polluted the air.
Oh, I see. Fortunately, government has taken some action to prevent such things. Would you like to go skiing with me? I heard the new ski area is great. They have safe tracks, especially for the beginners, and provide free training. I think it suits you best.
Sounds not bad. You know, the only thing I worried about is the safety. I'm not an active exerciser and my muscle may be not strong enough for such an intense sport.
Well, then you can go to the 3-day-long training camp first. There are some professional teachers and they can guide you to do certain necessary exercise.
I will think about it.
Come on. It is really a fun game. Well, you know what, don't do it, 'cause the minute you do, they lose all respect for you.
Well, it's not like that. We just email, it's really nothing. On top of which I am definitely thinking about stopping because it's getting
out of hand.
Confusing. But not, because it's nothing.
Where do you meet him?
Oh, listen, I can't even remember. Okay, on my birthday, I wandered into over 30 rooms, for a joke, sort of, and he was there, and we started chatting.
About what?
Oh, books and music. How much we both love New York. Harmless, meaningless. Bouquets of sharpened pencils. Oh.
Excuse me?
Forget it. We don't talk about anything personal, so I don't know his name or what he does or where he lives exactly. So it'll be really easy for me to stop seeing him, because I'm not.
Are you ready to go shopping?
Not yet. I'm not finished with my research yet.
What research?
Reading my fashion magazines. How do you think I know so much about all the latest trends?
But they're just ads.
Duh, that's the point. The people in the ads are wearing what's in. Plus, there are articles on new trends.
You're not looking happy. What's the matter?
Oh, nothing special. I'm just a bit tired.
With the job?
With everything, with everybody, with all this.
A good suggestion for you. You need a holiday.
It wasn't always like this, you know.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, we always do the same thing. There's no variety in our lives.
You need a holiday. That's what's the matter.
Certainly, perhaps.
How about seconds, Victor?
No, thanks. I'm full. Tomorrow's Carl's birthday?
Yes. Let's hold a birthday party for him, shall we?
Good idea. Let's make ready, then.
Our mission is to help you learn the English language. We have created easy-to-follow, free educational materials for those seeking knowledge of English.